Rev up your engines!
What? Did I buy a Tesla? Well, you can see this Tesla's plugged into my house. I do have a level 2 charger, 220 volts. As you can see right here, it is now charging. In this case, it's charging at 33.8, 34 amps or so. Now, it might have my name on it, but it's not mine. I have a charger because I work on these things, so I gotta have a charger. People bring them in, they're half empty. You gotta have a charger to get enough electricity to do work on them. When you're working on them, they're also draining electricity. So I got a level 2 charger that goes at 220 volts, which most electric car people will have at home, because if we had just a 110 charger, it would take well over a day or more to charge this thing up. We're going to see how fast it charges up after so many hours, and then we can just judge the rest. The reason this car is here because I'm checking it out for purchase. If you remember, Hertz bought like 100,000 of these. Now they're trying to unload them. People don't like renting them. People don't like the idea of range anxiety. Hertz is now selling them a lot cheaper than you might think. Some of them are going for 25 grand or less. Now, with Hertz selling so many of these things, prices are definitely coming down. But is it worth buying one? The new ones around here are going for like $54,000. You can get one for $25,000. That's quite a bit of money. But to begin with, do you want to buy a used electric car with 96,332 miles on it? Now, while we're fiddling around checking it out, see if it's a good car, you see it has 6 hours and 45 minutes remaining to charge. We've been charging it for 2 hours now. That means in total it's going to take about 7 hours and 40 minutes to charge it up on a level 2 charger. And it's not 100%, that's to 80%. As you can see here, now it's got 6 hours and 35 minutes remaining, and the charge limit is 302 miles. That's all it lets it charge as it stands. So you can forget that 358 miles of range that they claim, because it doesn't charge to 100%, and you don't drive it to zero either. And of course, when you start driving around, you're finding the winter is going to make the range go even further down. I've driven these things hard, and you drive them hard, you can cut the range by 80 to 100 miles, and if you tow something, forget it. You're really going to drop the mileage. What kind of a warranty are you getting? You're buying it from Hertz, right? Hertz does have a warranty, but it's one of these limited warranties. Now, Hertz uses a company, Fidelity Warranty Services, for their warranties on these used cars. Better Business Bureaus give it 2.8 out of 5 stars. That's pretty stinky. And I downloaded the warranty information on my phone. It's 10 pages long with lawyer language about what's limited in the warranty, right? And Tesla itself has warranties for the battery, right? The problem with that is it's also a limited warranty. They say things like if the car was in an accident, that voids it. And realize this is a Hertz rental car. Hertz is self-insured. A lot of times they get wrecked, they fix it themselves in-house. They don't tell anybody about it. So you might buy one of these that's been in accidents. Then let's say the battery goes bad and you take it to Tesla because it's still got the Tesla warranty on the battery. Guess what? If they figure out it's been in a wreck, they won't fix it. That happened to people. And their thing is they'll look at it and they'll see, oh, there's wrecked parts here. Car's been wrecked. Whether there's paperwork or not, they'll say it's wrecked. You don't get a free battery. And the batteries on these things can cost you over 20 grand with installation if you go with OEM. And even Tesla's warranty says if you don't use OEM stuff, their warranties are invalid. You're buying one of these, you're buying into Tesla's whole framework of they don't have spare parts much because they use them all to make new cars. They take forever to fix cars. I've had people up 3 months waiting for parts, waiting to get their car fixed. And understand your insurance is going to go up. These things are easily totaled. If the bottom gets hit with the battery, destroys the battery, generally they'll total the car. So the insurance rates are up. They eat up tires. Electric instant torque. Tires wear out a lot faster. They have very special tires that cost a fortune. Now as we check out these tires, they're fine. They still got plenty of tread. They're Firestones, and I've never seen original ones Firestone. So these things with 90-something thousand miles probably have been replaced 3 or 4 or 5 times depending on how hard it was driven. Realize tires are going to be expensive on these things. Now if you are thinking about buying one of these used, you got to find a mechanic who understands electric cars and has equipment to analyze them, because they're not as simple as other cars. As you can see, I got my main box for the Autel. I also have the VCMI for the Autel, and that's connected to the Autel DV diagnosis box. And as we go even farther, you can see I have a giant box of adapters, which you need. For instance, in this Tesla Model 3, you have to access under the center console in the back seat, take out the plastic part. There is a connector there that you need an adapter to hook up the OBD2 machine. Hence the need for a bag of adapters for checking everything, the AC system, you name it. You need all this equipment, a man who knows how to use them, or a woman who knows how to use them, to see if this car's in good shape or not. It's not as simple as just going to some garage and say, could you plug in the thing and see? No, a lot of very expensive equipment, a lot of knowledge to figure out if this thing's in good shape or not. You just don't look at it and say, oh, it looks okay. No. These are electronic computers rolling on wheels. And realize this, the complexity of these cars make your head spin. The air conditioning system on this vehicle, it's a heat pump system. It has various valving systems. So it can heat you while it cools the battery, or cools the battery and cools you, or heats you and cools the battery. There's all kinds of things that happen. But ultimately, the air conditioner is used to cool the electric battery. So these cars are built with technology up the wazoo, and if any little bit of that technology breaks down, often it will render the vehicle undrivable. Now wait till these things are old and they start breaking down and people find out the money they have to spend to fix on it. Try finding a guy who works on Teslas. They're few and far between. When these things start to get old and actually start breaking down, you can't do like with a regular gasoline car, like a Toyota. Oh, well, we'll replace the AC compressor. That's only going to cost you, $500 or something. With these systems, the level of complexity in them and the expense. Now, sure, they're good-looking cars, and it's tempting to buy one at a low price. But after scanning this and analyzing trouble codes and the lifespan of the battery that's left, I'm going to tell the guy not to buy it. Let's say, instead of having 99,000 miles, it only had 30,000 miles. I probably would have said, it's your money, you can do what you want. The battery's got this much life left. I can't see any particular problems with my scan tool on it. If you want to chance it and buy a used Tesla with a 1-year warranty and 10,000 miles or whatever, and even that is a limited powertrain, we all know what that means. That means that it's limited to something that doesn't cost much. If it's an expensive thing like a battery or the motor, they're just going to tell you to take a hike. With the technology in these things, you really have to fix everything whenever it breaks. I guess the dogs don't like it either. No, I know. I always say buy used cars. Well, in the case of electric cars, I have to renege on that statement. Now, personally, I wouldn't even buy a new electric car, but I'd never buy a used one. There are too many ifs. Has it been in a wreck? If it was, and then the battery goes out later on you, and they say, oh, your car's been in a wreck, your warranty isn't any good, screw. If you have to replace the battery on this thing at a Tesla dealer, about $16,000 parts and labor. Prices always changing, so you can't give an exact figure. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the prices are up, sometimes the prices are down. Time goes on, maybe they'll have rebuilt ones. The rebuilt ones, from my experience, aren't worth crap. They're a bunch of little cells. They replace some of them, leave the old ones. Putting a rebuilt battery in any electric car, unless you're going to sell it immediately, is a fool's errand, because you're just going to spend still a reasonable amount of money, and it's not going to last as long unless they replaced all the cells, and they're not going to do that. It would cost too much. They would just buy another battery then. Now, sure, it's got technology up the wazoo. You got front cameras, side cameras, rear cameras, and of course everything's on the touch screen. Even moving a blower motor, it's all done with the center screen. And guess what happens when that center screen breaks? They go bananas, and they do break on these things. The technology is total insanity. When it breaks down, good luck finding anyone, and I mean anyone, who can fix these things when they break down. As you can see, it's currently charging at 30 miles of range per hour of charging, and that's with it charging at 239 volts too. So maybe you're tempted to buy one of these used Teslas from Hertz with the price that's getting lower and lower. My advice is, if you're a wise person, stay away from these things, unless you like gambling, because if something breaks on them, it's going to cost you a fortune. You probably have a heck of a time finding anybody who can even work on the things. And like I said, yeah, you get some warranty from this warranty company for a year. You can even buy extended ones from them too that are longer. But from my experience, company that's got like 2.8 stars out of 5 isn't a company that I'd want to be dealing with. I wouldn't advise anybody to buy them, especially one like this that's got 90-something thousand miles on it. Unless they got it dirt cheap and they're willing to just blow that money, and if something goes wrong, just write the whole thing off. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.